Well, gold has climbed by over 50% in 2025. It's holding above $4,000 in recent days as the so-called debasement trade gains steam. Back in 2011, Warren Buffett cautioned investors in his annual shareholder letter that gold, quote, is currently a huge favorite of investors who fear almost all other assets, but that the precious metal, quote, has two significant shortcomings, being neither of much use nor procreative. If you own 1 ounce of gold for all an eternity, you'll still own an ounce at its end. Joining us now, Lee Munson, Portfolio Wealth Advisors President and CIO. And we brought in the Buffett quote, Lee, because we frequently talk to you about Buffett. Yeah. I know you're, well, everybody's an admirer of Buffett, but I know you are in particular. How do you view gold in this surge that we have seen?
Well, the trick with gold trading is you look over a 10-year period and then you say, what are the 2 years out of 10 that gold's going to do well? And this is one of those 2 years. I've traded gold successfully for many years. I basically kind of retired from trading gold about 3 or 4 years ago, obviously too early, right? So gold has a pattern. First you get the main driver of gold, which is central bank diversification. Now central banks, China, India, Turkey, and then all these little countries you've never heard of like Mongolia are diversifying outside of the dollar into gold. When you look at central bank surveys, they clearly say 10 years from now, the dollar they still expect to be the main reserve currency, but because of geopolitical concerns, the Trump trade war, they do want to have a gold holding. So that's where it starts. Then you've got the FOMO, then you've got the momentum traders, right? That's when gold gets hot. Usually it's a central bank asset class, and now we've got everybody into it. Gold people right now, you got half of America that hates this presidential administration, right? And they are fearful of everything right now. They look at global collapse. It's like night and day compared to like my clients who are, hardcore Republicans that don't see any problem and have a lot of faith in America right now.
And they don't hold any gold?
A few of them do, but for different reasons, right? They see it as an inflation hedge in some way. I mean, I remember when I was 6 years old, my very first investment was a gold panda bear, a Chinese gold ounce. And it took me 44 years to get my money back adjusted for inflation. That happened this summer.
So people should remember that about
Yeah, 45 years
well.
I was right. Gold was the first Bitcoin when it became legal to own. I was there as a small child, seeing my dad get just, oh my God, he had a big block of silver that he bought, 40 an ounce. And then, there's a lot of history of gold that nobody remembers today. So I think what you have to remember is that, here's the thing from a trading perspective. You start with gold bullion, right? Then you switch over to gold miners. Gold miners up 100%, double gold this year. That's second phase. Third phase, then you get silver. Silver is the meme cousin of gold. Don't give me this industrial EV solar panel crap.
Yeah.
There's enough silver for all of that. It's not a play on industrial production. It's just a degenerate gambling ploy after people get stuck with gold. They see miners up 100, then silver. And then the final frontier, when you see silver miners go parabolic, that's when the phase is done. So we're basically
and the other metals are also like platinum, palladium, those guys are also flying too.
Well, and look at what a gift. I mean, listen, it's not my thing. I like to make money on stocks and bonds, but you had all summer to get into platinum. You had all summer to get into palladium before it went parabolic.
Yeah.
So it's not as if this stuff is unknown. It's just, it doesn't have any real kind of tangible value. But I do notice a lot of young kids, I mentor at University of New Mexico, and so we chair, I underwrite all these investment challenges. I give thousands of dollars of these like gifts to let's do an investment challenge, show me the hot stocks, and you get these kids excited. I read through 25 of their reports earlier this week, preliminary reports, and obviously they still all want to be long NVIDIA.
Sure.
And trigger warning, we're talking about gold, not NVIDIA right now, but they've switched to gold from Bitcoin, right?
Oh,
like as if they've discovered this gold thing. And they tell me if we keep spending, the dollar will go to zero, and then everybody who owns gold, they'll own the world. And it's like, I heard that from the Bitcoin crowd.
So that's what's so interesting, because we keep, I keep hearing that this is the debasement trade, but in recent days I've seen some pushback against, I mean, because the other things in the market don't add up. What we're seeing in the bond market doesn't necessarily indicate that. So, how do you read all of that?
Here's the thing: when you're going into gold and you say why, there is no why. It's a commodity. It's a hard currency.
So it's like Bitcoin.
You buy it. It has no value. I mean, I love the look. If you've ever seen a real gold bar, it's mesmerizing, and you're just like, I understand why I have to buy this gold.
Your little gold panda.
Your little gold panda bear. It is mesmerizing. But in all seriousness, gold is just a trade. It's always been a trade. It is a store of value over very, very long periods of time. But so when you ask somebody, why are you in gold? You're saying justify earning something that collects dust and keeps its store value over multiple decades, not multiple years. And so they have to say debasement because they see it on TV. And it's like, I've been hearing debasement since the early 80s.
Right.
And you say, oh, it's an inflation hedge. Really? 1980s, 1990s, all gold does is go down when inflation is much higher than it is today? Don't give me that stuff, right? It has to do with central bank positioning, it has to do with retail traders, and it has to do with just regular traders. One last thing about gold.
Yes.
It spikes up and then breaks hearts for years. Stocks make everybody happy for years, make Nvidia go up, make me money for years, and then it spikes down.
Right.
So gold has the opposite reactions in the way that it goes up and down. So you have to remember, right, if you're gonna trade gold like you trade stocks, you're doing it the opposite way. And so what's happening is people are glomming onto it when it's going up parabolic, they don't realize you're gonna hold this thing and it's gonna float sideways, if not down, for many, many years to come. It has the potential.
So we've talked enough about something that you don't even want to own.
I've owned in the past.
So what do you, like, what are you excited about right now? What do you think that people should be looking at that they're not?
Oh my word, Liberation Day losers.
Yeah.
I mean, I just screen for everything that's down since Liberation Day. Some because they have to do with the political or trade war, some have nothing to do with that. I love Trade Desk, right? Trade Desk, Liberation Day loser. You know, everybody's concerned about Amazon, DSP, it's their ad selling platform. You've had, Amazon is a small competitor to Trade Desk, and Trade Desk won't even acknowledge them as competitors, but you're selling ad-supportive stuff in streaming TV. We call it CTV, and that doesn't stand for cable TV. It's just, CTV is just not watching streaming on your phone or tablet. It's on something called a TV set for the young people out there. And so that's half of revenues for Trade Desk. They're still the independent, credible place to buy ads. They're the only independent place around. And what Amazon done, Netflix and Hulu and all these things, we have all these ad-supported things. So the pie just got huge. Trade Desk, 55% of its market cap has been eviscerated this year. I'm long. Another couple of Liberation Day losers. FICO, right? I mean, Fair Isaac, I mean, this is the credit score place. They got a lot of heat earlier this year from Federal Housing Administration, from Pulte, saying, hey, we got to cut costs, this, that, and the other. It's just political noise, but now they're going direct and cutting out. I mean, it's a layup, it's brilliant. Other things I like, in payments, people forget about payments, people forget about the cashless, the move to get rid of cash. I think Shift4, F-O-U-R is the ticker symbol, major player. They're getting in the verticals I love, like building out stadiums, sports entertainment. That's where people are spending more money. Tax-free shopping, they did an acquisition of a place called Global Blue. They're going into Europe. Europe has no innovation. It's a calcified industrial structure from the 20th century, and Shift4 is going in there and they're saying, hey, we haven't had any payment innovation in 15 years. It's like fish in a barrel. So there's a lot of good companies out there that are monopolies, that Buffett, that Moat, they've got it. But there's been some question about that because of all the political noise and just AI, right? So I want to get in there, take advantage. 30-year Treasury is also down since then too.
We got to leave it there, Lee. We'll have you back soon, though. Thank you so much. Good to see you.